The Great Bible, Job, the 36th chapter. Elihu proceeded forth in his talking, and said, Hold thee still a little, and I shall show thee what I have yet to speak on God's behalf. I will open unto thee yet more of mine understanding, and prove my matter righteous. And truly my words shall not be vain, seeing he is with thee that is perfect in knowledge. Behold, the great God casteth away no man, for he himself is mighty in power and wisdom. As for the ungodly, he shall not preserve him, but shall help the poor to their right. He shall turn his eyes away from the righteous, but as kings shall they be in their throne. He shall establish them forever, and they shall be exalted. But if they be laid in prison and chains, or bound with the bonds of trouble, then will he show them their work, and the sins wherewith they have used cruel violence. He with punishing and nurturing of them, roundeth them in the ears, warneth them to leave off from their wickedness, and to amend. If they now will take heed and serve him, they shall wear out their days in prosperity, and their years in pleasure and joy. But if they will not hearken, they shall go through the sword, and perish ere ever they be aware. As for such as be feigned hypocrites, they shall heap up wrath for themselves, for they call not upon him, though they be his prisoners. Thus shall their soul perish in foolishness, and their life shall be condemned among the fornicators. The poor shall he deliver out of his affliction, and round them in the ear when they be in trouble. Even so shall he keep thee, if thou wilt be content, from the bottomless pit that is beneath. And if thou wilt hold thee quiet, he shall fill thy table with plenteousness. Nevertheless, thou hast condemned the judgment of the ungodly. Yea, even such a judgment and sentence shalt thou suffer. For then shall not thy cause be stilled with cruelty, nor pacified with many gifts. Thinkest thou that he will regard thy riches? He shall not care for gold, nor for all them that excel in strength. Prolong not thou the time, till there come a night for thee, to set other people in thy stead. But beware that thou turn not aside to wickedness and sin, which hitherto thou hast chosen more than meekness. Behold, God is of a mighty high power. Where is there such a guide and lawgiver as he? Who will reprove him of his way? Who will say unto him, Thou hast done wrong? Oh, consider how great and excellent his works be, whom all men love and praise. Yea, wonder at him, and yet they see him but afar off. Behold, so great is God, that he passeth our knowledge, neither are we able to come to the experience of his years. He turneth the water to small drops. He driveth his clouds together for to rain, so that they pour down and drop upon men. He can spread out the clouds, and covering of his tabernacle, and cause his light to shine upon them, and to cover the bottom of the sea. By these things governeth he his people, and giveth them abundance of meat. With the clouds he hideth the light, and at his commandment it cometh again. The rising up therefore thereof showeth he to his friends, and to the cattle. The 37th chapter. At this my heart is astonied, and moved out of his place. Hear then the sound of his voice, and the noise that goeth out of his mouth. He governeth everything under the heaven, and his light reacheth unto the end of the world. A roaring voice followeth him, for his glorious majesty giveth such a thunderclap, that, though a man hear it, yet may he not perceive it afterward. It giveth an horrible sound, when God sendeth out his voice. Great things doth he, which we cannot comprehend. When he commandeth the snow, it falleth upon the earth. As soon as he giveth the rain a charge, immediately the showers have their strength, and fall down. He sendeth fear upon every man, that they might know their own works. The beasts creep into their dens, and take their rest. Out of the south cometh the tempest, and cold out of the north. At the breath of God the frost cometh, and the waters are shed abroad. He maketh the clouds to do their labor in giving moistness, and again with his light he driveth away the cloud. He distributeth also on every side, according as it pleaseth him to deal out his works, that they may do whatsoever he commandeth them through the whole world, whether it be to punish any land, or to do good unto them that seek him. Hearken unto this, O Job, stand still, and consider the wondrous works of God. Art thou of counsel with God, when he doth these things? When he causeth the light to come forth of his clouds? Art thou of his counsel, when he spreadeth out the clouds? Hast thou the perfect knowledge of his wonders, and how thy clothes are warm, when the land is still through the south wind? Hast thou helped him to spread out the heaven, which is to look upon, as it were of clear metal? Teach us what we shall say unto him, for we are unmeet because of darkness. Shall it be told him what I say? Should a man speak, or should he keep it back? For every man seeth not the light, that he keepeth clear in the clouds, which he cleanseth when he maketh the wind to blow. Gold is brought out of the north, but the praise and honor of God's fear cometh from God himself. It is not we that can find out the Almighty, for in power, equity, and righteousness he is higher than can be expressed. Let men therefore fear him, for there shall no man see him that is wise in his own conceit. The 38th chapter. Then answered the Lord unto Job out of the storm, and said, What is he that hideth his mind with foolish words? Gird up thy loins like a man, for I will question with thee. See thou give me a direct answer. Where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell plainly if thou hast understanding. Who hath measured it? Knowest thou? Or who hath spread the line upon it? Whereupon stand the pillars of it? Or who laid the cornerstone thereof? Where wast thou when the morning stars praised me together, and all the children of God rejoiced triumphantly? Who shut the sea with doors, when it brake forth as a child out of his mother's womb? When I made the clouds to be a covering for it, and swaddled it with the dark? When I gave it my commandment, making doors and bars for it, saying, Hitherto shalt thou come, but no farther, and here shalt thou lay down thy proud and high waves. Hast thou given the morning his charge, as soon as thou wast born, and showed the dayspring his place, that it might take hold of the corners of the earth, and that the ungodly might be shaken out? Their tokens and weapons are turned like clay, and set up again as the changing of a garment. The ungodly shall be disappointed of their light, and the arm of the proud shall be broken. Camest thou ever into the ground of the sea, or walkedst in the low corners of the deep? Have the gates of death been opened unto thee? Or hast thou seen the doors of the shadow of death? Hast thou also perceived how broad the earth is? If thou hast knowledge of all this, then show me where light dwelleth, and where darkness is, that thou mayest bring us unto their quarters, if thou canst tell the way to their houses. Knewest thou afore thou wast born, how old thou shouldest be? Wentest thou ever into the treasuries of the snow? Or hast thou seen the secret places of the hail, which I have prepared against the time of trouble, against the time of battle and war? By what way is the light parted? And into what land breaketh the east wind? Who divideth the abundance of waters into rivers? Or who maketh a way for the lightning and thunder, that it watereth and moistereth the dry and barren ground, to make the grass grow in places where nobody dwelleth, and in the wilderness where no man remaineth? Who is the father of rain? Or who hath begotten the drops of dew? Out of whose womb came these? Who hath gendered the coldness of the air, that the waters are as hard as stones, and lie congealed above the deep? Wilt thou hinder the sweet influences of the 7 stars? Or art thou able to break the circle of heaven? Canst thou bring forth the morning star, or the evening star at convenient time, and convey them home again? Knowest thou the course of heaven, that thou mayest set up the ordinance thereof upon the earth? Moreover, canst thou lift up thy voice to the clouds, that they may pour down a great rain upon thee? Canst thou thunder also, that they may go their way, and be obedient unto thee, saying, Lo, here are we? Who giveth sure wisdom or steadfast understanding? Who numbereth the clouds in wisdom? Who stilleth the vehement waters of the heaven? Who turneth the clots to dust, and then to be clots again? Wilt thou hunt the prey from the lion, or feed his whelps lying in their dens, and lurking in their couches? Who provideth meat for the raven, when his young ones cry unto God, and fly about for lack of meat? The 39th chapter. Knowest thou the time when the wild goats bring forth their young among the stony rocks? Or layest thou wait when the hinds use to fawn? Reckonest thou the months after they engender, that thou knowest the time of their hearing or bearing? Or when they lie down, when they cast their young ones, and when they are delivered of their travail and pain? How their young ones grow up, and wax great through good feeding, when they go forth and return not again unto them? Who letteth the wild ass go free, or who looseth the bonds of the mule? Even I, which have given the wilderness to be their house, and the untilled land to be their dwelling place, that they may give no force for the multitude of people in the cities, neither regard the crying of the driver, but seek their pasture about the mountains, and follow the green grass. Will the unicorn be so tame as to do thee service, or to abide still by thy crib? Canst thou bind the yoke about the unicorn in thy sorrow, or in thy furrow, to make him plow after thee in the valleys? Mayest thou trust him, because he is strong, or commit thy labor unto him? Mayest thou believe him, that he will bring home thy corn, or to carry anything unto thy barn? Gavest thou the fair wings unto the peacocks, or wings and feathers unto the stork? For he leaveth his eggs in the earth, and layeth them in the dust. He remembereth not that they might be trodden with feet, or broken with some wild beast. So hard is he unto his young ones, as though they were not his, and laboureth in vain without any fear. And that because God hath taken wisdom from him, and hath not given him understanding. When his time is that he fleeth up on high, he careth neither for horse nor man. Hast thou given the horse his strength, or learned him to bow down his neck with fear, that he letteth himself be driven forth like a grasshopper? whereas the stout neighing that he maketh is fearful? He breaketh the ground with the hoofs of his feet cheerfully in his strength, and runneth to meet the harnessmen. He layeth aside all fear. His stomach is not abated, neither starteth he aback for any sword. Though the quivers rattle upon him, though the spear and shield glister, yet rusheth he in fiercely, and beateth upon the ground. He feareth not the noise of the trumpets, but as soon as he heareth the shawms blow, tush, saith he, for he smelleth the battle afar off, the noise, the captains, and the shouting. Cometh it through thy wisdom, that the goose-hawk flieth toward the south? Doth the eagle mount up, and make his nest on high at thy commandment? He abideth in the stony rocks, and upon the high tops of hard mountains, where no man can come. From thence seeketh he his prey, and looketh far about with his eyes. His young ones are fed with blood, and where any dead body lieth, there is he immediately.